Exactly.
My thing, I would personally for me, would never want to travel to a country by myself
Yeah.
or the one single person, just because like the world is a very dark and evil place. And we just like people continue to forget. But like I don't want to take a chance to just get lost or something bad happens. So I like the fact to get be in a group of my friends. I like be a group of people that I know, and then also have fun and enjoy with them and live in the
Facts.
experience with them as well. So
Facts.
it's been a blessing to play rugby. Like, yeah.
I think the minute I stepped on a practice field for rugby, the calling happened.
An 8-year plan to be on the team, and I was in it within 2 years.
Don't wait until you are a pro to be a pro, right?
Like, I like doing something, stopping and learning from it.
Like, it just looked like it was a heavy hit.
To give up, it's not up.
You know, that's the first time I played like professionally.
I'm making rugby money. How can I make money outside of it?
And there was 2 Scottish guys, and they said, "Oh, you're here for the movie."
Rugby is a sport where that's often coupled with actually having a good time.
He looked at me and he says, "You guys are off."
Grow rugby, 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 grow rugby.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Grow Rugby. My name is GiftTime Bailu, and this is the show where we speak to people about the opportunities that they have found, created, or taken advantage of via rugby. Yo, we got an amazing guest for you today, and it's been a great week. You guys are going to love this one. This guy has been killing it online. This man's a social media guru out here dropping some mad skits while also simultaneously being out on the field, busting it up, man. You guys can see him in things like Rugby Town Sevens. You guys could have seen him up in the D.C. area with Rocky Gorge. Now you get to see him over at Rooney, MLR. My guy, Akinola Raymond, the Nigerian. I'm not doing Nigerian Nightmare because everybody just uses Nigerian Nightmare all the time. All right, we got more than enough Nigerian Nightmares, man. This is the you know what? I don't have a name for it, but this is Nigerian. This is sensational. This is spectacular, and this was a great conversation with a guy who really has just become such a notoriously This has become a guy who has very quickly become one of the most notable people that's in this rugby community by simultaneously also being one of the most down-to-earth rugby people because he's a rugby person. This is what we do. So it was a great conversation. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this one. We went over a lot of things. It was a little random, but this is what we do, all right? This is that Nigerian rugby life, baby. But I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves. I hope you guys have been enjoying the week. You know, we're finally kind of back to normal. Still got to drop some stuff with the HBCU Rugby Classic, but all the games are now officially up. It was great to be able to look back and see some of the great plays. Can't wait to drop out the highlights and clips like that. And now moving forward, we just have even more rugby coming up. It's another great week of MLR. It's more club rugby. We're starting to see more and more development every single day, every single week. So, hey, look, I'm not saying COVID's over, but it's nice to know that there's a horizon that's not just in sight, but it's starting to be a little bit blinding, and that's where I want my rugby to be. Just blind me with it. Blind me with it. And I want to take the time to thank everybody who has had the chance to listen, taking the time to listen to these and be able to enjoy. And please, if you guys can, tell your friends and family. Spread this thing around. We got always trying to get the best and amazing guests, people that we find legitimately interesting. And by we, I mean me, and that's what we want to do. And please, when you guys get a chance, definitely go over to youtube.com/GiftTime Rugby Network. Please subscribe in. We are literally 8 people away from getting over 1,000, aka meaning that we can actually start to monetize, and that means I can even produce even more content because look, any little trickle works, man. We're trying to be able to continue to build into the business. We're trying to take it up to another notch. Like this is post COVID rugby, the era of change and culture additions. So this is what we're all about doing. But guys, I'm not going to actually hold you guys too much longer. I hope you guys having a great one. And please, please enjoy the hilarious, the insightful, the great Akinola Raymond.
Dang, I can't even eat it right now on camera. I was like, yo,
no, dude, go ahead and do that. Eat, yo, get it on. Get it on.
Hold on.
What part of the? Yo, this is casual.
Nah, it's so hot. Hold on, man.
All right. Count us down. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Grow Rugby. We got another V. You know what? I'm even going to step it up one more. We got one of the biggest V's, the most important I's, and the people of the people P's. I guess that was triple P's in that. This man been doing it on TikTok. He been doing it on the pitch. This man been doing it for years. And also a Nigerian brother, Akinola Raymond. Aki, man, thanks for coming through, brother.
No problem, man. Wouldn't miss it.
Yo, look, I always love to talk about like how I first got to know you and know people, but I think it's always very interesting to me. The best memory I have is when we first met in person at Atlanta, at the Atlanta Sevens, like 4 years ago.
I think it was with the women's tournament, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I was coaching with Silent.
Exactly. And like whenever we pulled up, and I know we had been friends on Facebook for a while, and of course because of Toes on, and again Nigerianness all the way through. It was just like I remember seeing it, and I felt like I came in really high energy at you. It might have scared you a little bit at that moment. I wasn't sure because I was just like, "Yo, Aki, what's good? Let's go get a picture, bro."
At that time I wasn't doing like social media, so I was like, my mindset was like, Silent's here. I want them to win. I was speed training some of the girls and the younger girls who were there too. And then like, I didn't know, I knew you were going to be there, but then you literally just came home like, I thought I had a high energy. Like, yo, I was like, yo, I think when we met well though, we talked a little bit and yeah, it was fun. And then we saw like the whole tournament. That tournament was class, man. Like
yo, it was
my favorite, bro. Yeah.
Bro, it's one part of the changeover to it being Las Vegas and then obviously LA that I missed. It was like Atlanta. One, it was an easy drive for me. I mean, I just have to drive over. I don't gotta fly.
Yeah. For us, it was like I think it was like 8.5, and we got in a car accident.
Bro, oh dang! Whoa. Okay, so the distance was about the same. I had to do about 8.5 hours to get over there too. But I didn't get the car accident. I didn't do the I-95.
Missed out on money, bro. I missed out on money, bro. We got hit by one of those charter buses that take you to the planes.
Yo,
I tried to fake an injury, right? But the girls on the team like, Aki, stop. I'm like, there was a lady who came out of because she was in the bus. She came out in the stretcher. She was fine. She was talking, but then the stretcher came in. She's like this, all stretched up. Her son was next to her, like she's got the check in the bag, and that could have been us. But I got girls want to play.
We want to be moral and have ethics. See,
that was a Delta charter bus, bro. That was millions,
bro. I
was like this. My neck hurt a little bit. Like, he's not. His neck is fine. Like the cop, like, oh, his neck is fine. Yeah, like his neck is fine. He's just playing around. Like, you're dumb, bro. Like, that's gotta give you blessing right there. You want to walk away from the blessing. That's terrible.
See, that was gonna be the what you call it, Morgan, Morgan Walmart money kind of thing. Yeah. Tracy Morgan money. That was Tracy Morgan money on the line.
I came out with 10,000 racks,
Right. Facts. Gonna be like, guys, look, I'm trying to take care of our entire trip in one. Help me.
Son, it was a van of 7 or 8 of us. All of them should have said the next messed up. We'd have got the bag easy. And it was a rental van too. Bro.
Man, see, that's part of the problem. They don't want you to be great. No, but man, like it's those early days. Sometimes I always think about because it's been this weird process of growth. I think that we've all had in this rugby game, and whether it's been on the pitch, off the pitch. But just watching it across the board, but you still have these wild stories that I don't feel like you can have the same affect now like you could 5 years ago, 10 years ago, which is kind of wild considering it doesn't seem like that much time.
Yeah, man, it is weird. Like even alone, just the way rugby has changed so I should say like the people of color in general.
Right.
But from my time, I was like 17 when I first started playing men's league, and then now I'm 27, so 10 years. Just 10 years. 10, 11 years, it's changed so much. Like you see like one black guy on the team. All of a sudden you're playing with the whole team full of black people and old blue.
Bro.
Like, it's in the 10 years, like it's wild.
Wild. Look, that is one thing that I can definitely say for sure has been one of the biggest ones, and it was how much it spread. Because I even remember with my team, I think there was a max of 3, including myself, that played at any one time. And we really never actually played at one time. It was always like one dude who was always traveling. The other one was just about to retire. And then it was like me just in there. So you're just like in this rotation. And then, literally, I want to say like after 2015, 2016, it started like increasing incrementally.
I think it was the CRCs that made it become that way because more people been able to be on TV, and 7 has more emphasis. And so, like, more people are training in 7s, training in a younger age in high school. Then all of a sudden, like, they get to college, want to play 15s. Right. And, like, some of the schools translate, some of the players translate as well. Like, we get a Jihad, we get a Christian Adams, we get a DeMonte Noble, who are 7-stars, but also become 15 stars. Like, DeMonte right now is playing for DC.
Old Glory.
As Old Glory, as a starting winger. Like, that's what you want to see. Christian Adams would have been the starting 12 if he was able to make the practice. He has work. He has, like, a full-time, great-paying job. Right. A social worker in Boston, and if you made practice, be starting for the New England Free Jacks right now as a 12 or 13. Man. So it's great.
And that's another one of those places where you go, even though it's not happening now, it now feels feasible that at some point in time, maybe it could be 5-10 years down the line, it'll be a point where hopefully people can make rugby money just by itself and not be worrying about these added jobs that take away the choice of being able to commit.
Yeah, I mean, it will be coming along fairly soon, I hope, like the next 5 years, maybe 10. But also, like, because of social media now, you can always add social media into your regimen, like when you're practicing, when you go to the gym, vlogging. Like, people don't understand the power of vlogging. Like, vlogging is like, people want to experience another experience with somebody else that they can't live. So they see their favorite player in a rugby thing, oh, this is how he lives his life. Oh, I'm going to see what I can do in the mirror. Like, that's another way players could make money on the side if they're not scared to show themselves or their practice or how they practice.
Dude, you speaking facts on that. You speaking facts. And let's before we get into it, because obviously this works so much into your story and so much of what you've been doing. But, you know, as with any superhero, I always like to get their origin story. So I'm going to ask you, as I do with everybody else, and you kind of already mentioned a little bit, but we're going to keep going in with a little bit of a deeper dive. How did you get into rugby, my brother?
So I think it was like, I saw it on TV. I think I was either a freshman in high school in the fall or my 8th grade year in the summer. I saw Phaedra Knight making a girl into a rugby player on Made. So like, oh, this sport looks pretty cool. Like, this is, if my high school has it, I hope I play. Right. All of a sudden, football season's over for my freshman year, and I hear rugby practice tonight. Come here if you're interested on the intercom. I'm like, what? I went. All of a sudden, I went. It's a bunch of like seniors and sophomores. They're watching the World Cup. I'm like, oh, that's wild. That's wild. That's rugby cool. It's when like Taco Nguyen scored the try against like South Africa.
Yeah, the one scored.
And that and watching that, it was like, because I didn't know he was African. Like, wow, an African person playing for USA from I would love to do that one day. And then I just watched the way he ran, and at the time I was like very fast. I was like, all right, I could definitely play. Got into it.
Hold on. I know you didn't just say at the time I was very fast, as if you weren't very fast now.
Yeah.
I continue to be very fast.
I continue to be I was like, cool. I could definitely do this. And then I got into it. Our high school was not the best. I think we lost every game because we were a public school. We practiced twice a year. Again, we playing against teams like Gonzaga or who practice 3-4 times a week, and they are a rugby school. So it was frustrating to lose, but I learned how to lose. I've been doing it every year, but I learned how to lose. I learned how to get better. I went to the academies that Gonzaga would host, played with Gonzaga for one of their 7s tournaments, played with Maryland Exiles, U19. Yeah. I was playing 13 at the time, and I was playing 10 for my high school because I was the best 10 at the time for my high school. And I was playing 13 for my academy teams or Gonzaga or Maryland Exiles. Became a high school All-American because of the coach from Gonzaga said, hey, this is a guy you should look at. Went to play the sevens in Vegas 2012. Met some great kids. Met some beasts. I thought I was good. To me, like kids were like, okay, these kids are good, and also they're just bigger than I am. This is crazy.
Like, okay, so everybody got speed like this?
I had to speed. I had to speed. I was like, these guys had like, I didn't know how to step. Yeah, I didn't know how to step. So I'm like, all these like poly kids. This is the first time I've seen a Polynesian besides the one that lived near me. This was I see multiple like, oh, they all can do that. That's
right.
Wild. So I'm watching them in practice stepping, and I'm like, I got to learn how to do this. So it was wild. It was really pretty cool. Then after that, because of my high school American, I got to play for this men's team called Maryland Exiles men's team, who are now the Potomac Exiles, now the merged with PAC. PAC was a former Super League team back in the day, but they merged, and I played there, had so much fun. I was very scrawny. I still ran pretty scrawny, but I was like very scrawny at the time, so I didn't understand why I wasn't like starting until I realized like, okay, I don't look like I can make these tackles right now.
Right.
And so I was trying to build up on my size, just wasn't working. I was like probably still like 17, 18, 19. Then I played for Rocky Gorge. The next year, to play with Ben Sema, because Ben Sema and me went to the same college, and he went to Gonzaga, so he was going to Rocky Gorge. Like, you know what? He's going. I'm leaving too. I'm gonna play with this kid. Like, you know what I mean? We got the golden boot. I'm going. You know what I mean? His brother was Matthias. Matthias like also went to University of Maryland as a guy I played with before as well. And when because he played for Potomac Exiles, but they both left because of like some issues with the coaching and stuff. And so like, and I'm like, yo, these are my boys. Like,
yo, I'm gonna hold down for him.
Yeah, you have loyalty to a team, but I got loyalty to my boys too. You know what I mean? And then made a good run in playoffs. We lost to Old Blue in I think the semifinal.
Yeah.
So from then on it was like, all right, cool. We played sevens. Rocky Gorge never had a sevens team like that before, so like it was weird. So I tried to make the sevens team, and we were competitive. We lost. I mean, we won. We got second place on the first tournament. We got first on the second. We got fifth on the fourth, which that messed us up, bro. And that was like everything that went wrong that day. Like everybody had the case of Butterfingers, bro. It was bad. It was so bad.
It's those situations where you just there's not a control. You can't even go out of it being like, okay, man, what could I have done? But it's just like, look, like it all just went to shit. Like it's just one of those days.
Yeah, we were the best or second best team in our conference, but that game made it hard for us.
The worst team.
Yeah, the last tournament we had to win it to get in. So we're going in. The first game we have 6 players. All the players are late because we're driving. So we played with 6. The thing is, we played against Baltimore. They had 6 too. So we're like, all right, let's go. We won that game. We get to the semifinal. We played Nova. This one, Nova had Conroy Smith, like one of the old Falcons speedsters. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm just going to go on Conroy, and I'm going to shut him down. You guys played it. I'm not leaving Conroy. I'm just going to focus on Conroy. That's it, period. And then all of a sudden, we beat them. All of a sudden, we go against Schuylkill. In the final, like, all right, we win this game, we go to nationals. And I think we were tied all of a sudden last minute. I think there was a kick and chase. I didn't see it coming. It was wild. I didn't see it. Like they scored a nice try that day, bro. But that, like, we didn't have enough points to go into the final. We only took 2 teams, and like we were down by literally a point behind the standings because of that 5th place loss. Then from then on, I moved to Boston. Ex-girlfriend was going to MIT, so like, you know what, she's going to MIT. I'm just going to Boston too. Played there for 3 years. Got third in national championship, 2018. Then got third place. It felt bad. Like the semifinals before that, when we got the 5th place game. I mean, the semifinal game was a roller coaster. I remember like we were down 17-0 before that. Like 1 minute before the half, I subbed in. Scored, passed the ball to Jared, scored a try. Then all of a sudden it's 7-17. I made like 3 defensive efforts, like poached the ball once, made a guy knock the ball on. All of a sudden, Chris Frazier is down the line, try, game over, we win, first place. That was the best feeling of my life. I was like, my plan was after that 7th season to move to New York, but the fact that we lost the 3rd place against the guys who won, the Bulldogs. Bulldogs from Colorado.
I know you. Yeah.
Yeah. So we lost to them. I got a yellow card for a high tackle, which was.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, the dude was my size. I was launching in, and all of a sudden he ducked.
Oh, he went down.
All right. Yeah, I'm like, ducking is nobody should ever duck. It's not like I had him placed and he ducked, and we're the same size, so he ducked and he's like a little lower than me.
But that's and it always sucks in those situations because of the fact that you're just like, look, I'm trying to get the wrap up, and all you're just doing is it just looks like you're wrapping over it here.
So I guess I like bear hug his neck. So I'm like, I look down like, damn, I'm about to get in trouble for this one. All of a sudden, whistle, yellow. I'm like, damn. And then we lose that game. Like we could have came back. That should not happen in the first. They didn't get the yellow. I think we would have won, and then we would have won the tournament because like Conroy was playing for Belmont Shore. So I'm like, all right, I already know. The Belmont Shore's like plan was to give the Conroy the speech. So like my plan was,
you know what to do with it. You got this.
Yeah, I'm ready for you. I play speedsters. I'm ready for you, bro. Like, let's go. So, but we watched them play. We watched the Bulldogs play Belmont Shore. We just like, damn, we could have won a national championship.
That's the part that always hurts whenever you go like, I know we could have taken that team. This was whatever happened over here was the flub, but that was a team that we were gonna do.
Yeah, and for being like that summer, I was planning on moving to New York, but then getting third place, getting like I didn't expect to get so high.
So you wanted to run it back?
Yeah, I want to run it back again, but hindsight, I should move to New York because like New York got third. I feel like it would have been a missing piece to get the national championship that year, but I stayed because like my friends were there and I felt like things were missing. But I just had to my last year at Mystic was like one of the worst toxic years I ever had.
Hey guys, I just want to take a quick moment to talk to you about the Rugby Outlet Mall. Now, I know you guys have heard me talk about this many times in the show before, typically in the intro, but I wanted to really make sure to get your focus on it because the Rugby Outlet Mall is not just the commerce hub for GiftTime Rugby, but it is an area where we want to be able to create the movement and the symbolic elements that add to the movement. The Rugby Outlet Mall is here so that we can have something that not just to have for the field, but more importantly to be able to have as a regular lifestyle. Because as you know, rugby is not just a sport. It's a whole way of life. It is a movement. And we have everything moving from cultural to your pop culture items like our Rugby Zon shirts, and sweaters, as well as representing for the culture as we continue to develop the HBCU Rugby Classic, and we want to continue to support these things because it only grows the sport overall. We are continually growing to be able to make sure that we're connecting with you on a personal level as well as a rugby level. And for you guys that are listening to the podcast and listening to this show, want to let you know that you are going to get 20% off all gear that is under the category of GiftTime Rugby Network and the HBCU Rugby Classic. That is basically the entire store. And all you need to use is promo code GREAUX, GREAUX Rugby. And with that, you guys will get 20% off any clothing that is in the store as of right now. And of course, we're always building up more and more each time. But we want to make sure that you are able to symbolize your rugby faithfulness to the rest of the world and let them know that there is an opportunity to be able to develop, to grow, and to get better each and every time in this sport. So guys, I hope you guys check it out. Definitely go, and you guys can go to www.rugbyoutletmall.com. That is rugbyoutletmall.com. Guys, you're not going to want to miss one bit of this. Now let's get back to it.
That I just after that year was done, I was gone. I moved to New York springtime. I was out of there by the spring.
So that was just this 2020, right?
2019.
2019.
Like 2019. So 2019. So I played. 2020. This March was when I officially moved to New York. But that oh my God, I never wanted. I wanted to retire from rugby. I was just like done.
I remember seeing that. I remember you talking about that. Like I thought it was. I think I even posted. I was like, "Yo, it's gonna be a loss, but you know, you do what you got to do." But man, it would have been odd.
Yeah,
odd.
It was compounding stuff. That just I never felt so down before from rugby, like just from what a coach is doing or saying, and this is one moment that made me really pissed off. I should have left early. This is why I want to move the first time to New York. There's this guy named Spoonie, great guy, nothing against him. He's new to rugby, 29 years old, speedster. He's new to rugby, so he doesn't know like the proper
ins and outs, the nuances. But he can take the ball, he can go. That's basically
Yeah. I'm 25 years old. I know the nuances of rugby. Like, you want a speedster guy, cool, but I know how to play defense. I know how to ruck and counter ruck. And our coach will start, like, instead of him letting him learn the game and put him on B side, the coach will start him in games. And like, I'm just like,
why?
So he's out of position there, and then like, okay, he doesn't get penalties because like his not releasing, not rolling away, coming out the side, and again, like, we have to win. And I'm just like, he's 29, I'm 25. Like, you have me, I'm younger, and like, I've been seeing him put like other players who are gone. I say for 3 years, there'll be players who's coming for a season, gone next year, and I'm like trying to.
It's your turn.
I'm like, it's my turn. Like, why? Next guy come in. All right, no, you're not in. Next guy come in. All right, you're not in. And like 3 years of doing this back and forth stuff, and like tell me what do you want for me to do. The coach doesn't tell me what he wants me to do. Like, tell me what you want from me, and I'll develop. There was a time where I was going for Vegas Sevens. I was training for Tiger. I got from 160 to 180.
Right.
And just for that tournament, I just got big, but I was still fast. And I came back from the tournament. Coach like, I like this, cool. And like, that's what you want me to get big. Just say that. Like, I would have done that a while ago.
Right.
And then like just didn't tell me what he wanted from me. And I like 3 years of my time there, like, I'm not developing at all. I'm the same. Like, I came in the same, left the same. Then like the last year, which was like the final straw, we had another coach who's like, we had some games where I would rather play D2 just to play. No, he's like, no, you come to D1 team because D1 team had to travel to New York. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm gonna waste my weekend. Sure. We're winning this game. Like, I'm like looking at him like, going to sub me in. He slashed my face.
Right.
I'm like, and he lashed my face about subbing in, and the game is over. Like, no time to get in. I was like,
and you didn't like, why did you bring me here if you're not going to use me?
I'm like, yeah, going to lash my face, and then the next week, I'm like asking to sub in, and he's like, because our wing is getting tired. I'm like, let me sub in. And he's like, nah, don't worry about it. Wing gets injured, shatters his leg. And all of a sudden, now I'm forced in. I go in there, make a tackle, like they lose the ball, possession, we win the game. I'm like, all right, now like he has to like put me in it this time. And I told him what he did, how it affected me, like when he laughed in my face last time about it. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry, apologize. The final game of the season, like home game, we played against Old Blue. We won that game. I'm like, I'm trying to get subbed in because we're winning handily. Like, all right, I'm gonna get subbed in." He laughs in my face again about subbing in. And that's like, you know what? I'm done, bro.
Because it's disrespectful now. Like, you at least talked about it. Like this.
Yeah, so it's oh my God.
Let me ask this: do you and don't mind and forgive me because I'm probably rolled this back a little bit, but do you feel like a lot of it comes from an underestimation because of size? Or do you feel like it's just like what do you think might be doing? Because there's nobody who can deny that you're impactful on the field and you're effective on the field. We've seen it whether it's in Rugby Town, whether we've seen it in championship games. I remember way back when even seeing it during USA, even in any sevens games, I've been able to see. So nobody can deny one-on-one talent. So like, do you feel like what do you feel has always been or continually comes up to be the pullback?
It has probably the one thing I can say is probably my attitude. I'm a very goofy person in practice. I'm goofy. Like, I do the drills, but after like I'm done the drills, like I'm like, happy go lucky. That makes me play better. When I'm like happy go lucky, I play my best. Like the reason why you see me playing good at traveling teams because like I get to be happy go lucky and like we're goofing on the field and off. In the game time, I'm there. I'm switched on to play. There's times like I was switching, like if there's a guy like I know and I just made a tackle as a whistle, I'll switch off, take a shoe off or something untied as a joke around, but I'm back. I'm there to win.
Right.
And that's about it. I'm not disrespectful. The only time I only talk back once is that's because the coach got my name wrong with Adnan. Like, Adnan. So they call Adnan Addy, which rhymes with Aki. So coach will say, Addy, move back. I'm staying still. Addy, move back. I'm staying still.
Who's Addy? This is like, I'm not Addy. Who are you talking to?
He says, Aki, move back. Like, what? Did I move back? He said, no, Aki, move back. Like, I'm Aki. And then I'm screaming at him while the ball is in the air coming in, and like you want to like get my name right or you don't call me something else.
One of the most quintessential African problems in the U.S. of getting the name. I don't know how many times, even whenever people would just call me Bailey, which is one thing why I always told people, just call me Gift. Like, just save me the trouble of having to correct it.
I'm just gonna call myself AK from now on, bro. I'm a weapon from now on. And also, big shout out. I want to give a shout out to Adnan, bro. That's one of the. Oh my god, I love that guy, bro. One of the best players, like most underrated player of all time. He's good, bro. That's a good player right there, man.
Dude, I love it. So okay, so I there's some things kind of want to be able to pull from this. So one thing that you had said earlier was at the time whenever we first had met in person was you were in that sense of quietness. You know, you kind of keep it chill. In terms of like initial presentation, obviously be lucky, happy-go-lucky, but quietness. Do you feel that the incidence of feeling that being able to be goofy has been something that you've dealt with from before, and then it's always kind of been like smacked down, and then it's like it forces that attitude, and now it impacts how people perceive you on the field,
when people see me on the field, like when they play against me, they know like you can see one thing. Okay, he's fast and he can run. So like they know like I'm not to be messed with. Like
nobody's gonna underestimate the athletic ability.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're gonna know like, all right, he's never gonna be malicious. He's gonna be a good guy. He's gonna play the game, and that's like a lot of people who play with me or against you can say like he's gonna play the game to his best. He may make a mistake, but like he'll make up for it. And you know, I'm very like even when we're losing against somebody, like I always try to like say some funny good things like, hey man, good tackle there, man. You almost got me. Like you almost got me this time. Like I would see some stuff like that. Like I think my play has never been considered nasty, negative. This is like all right, he plays hard. Like after the post game matches when you slapping heads, you're like, oh man, good game. Like you were fast out there. Like you scared me. Like everybody says stuff like that. So I know I'm respected by other players. Like and most coaches too. Yeah, most coaches too. Like all the all-star coaches who had me on their team.
But in the actual team element, whenever it's actually in the league games, because all those incidents are momentary. You know, all-star teams momentary, travel teams momentary. But whenever it comes down to the actual game, like, do you think like coaches slowly just wear out, or they just don't realize, or they just conceptually aren't understanding? Like, yo, this is me not. It's not me not being serious. It's just me enjoying the moment and just being able to take it because this is supposed to be fun as much as it is practice.
Yeah, that's going to be on the coach, and because like that's going to be on the coach because I'm playing to have fun and to play my best. Right. And it's your job as a coach to get the best out of me. If you can't do that, it's your job. I'm going to give you my best.
Right.
If you allow me to be my best. If you can't do that, that's not on me. That's on you for not allowing me to be my best.
Right.
At the same time, like there's times where I should I know there's times where I should be serious, like more serious, overly pay attention, quiet. And I know I get older. You know that now. That's age. That's an age thing.
Right. Like, it just comes with time and experience.
Yeah. It sucks. Like if I knew this, like if I known this when I was like younger, I'd be a beast. But again, like everybody will say that. Everybody will say that. But things like nobody has coached me about that. He just got mad, didn't say anything, and I go on about my day doing the same thing, not knowing what's wrong, what I should change.
Right.
And then I go,
And it's interesting, well, because one, you never know what's going to happen until you know it. You don't know until you know. So you have that element. But on the other side of it is you don't get to understand the depth of what of how to be effective until you know even sometimes the worst, which is where the experience comes into it. So it makes sense. I'm one who's I've never been a big fan of authority figures. So I always have a tendency to pull back a little bit whenever people do it. So I know for me, it took a while to be able to it took time for me to allow people to talk to me, I guess might be the nicest way of saying it. But and I still to this day will always say, look, I either don't work for you, I don't coach under you. I am just coaching. You are in a role that right now is needed to help guide into this direction, or I work with you. I don't work for, I just work with.
I'll say this, man. As a Nigerian boy, we got beat when we're bad, and I was a really bad kid. So
True.
I have high functioning anxiety. So I work well with the like when I'm under pressure, you're gonna get the best.
Where you going?
Like, yeah, that's what like. Oh, well, we losing? We down? I'm not. I don't get stressed in like stressful situations because I'm like really like. I'm just like stressful situations is where I thrive my best. You know what I mean?
Facts.
We're down by a lot. All right, bet, put me in. I'm gonna do my best to make sure it doesn't look as bad. I love stressful situations.
No, that's true. I never even thought about it like that. I usually always just been like, all right, this is just I'm numb to it. Like this is just part of it. But I never really actually think that it's also probably part of that Nigerian upbringing where you just start to get the pressure. Like it's look for those who don't really understand, it can be good or bad, but I think overall, like there's a direction and a purpose, even if it's not always executed in the best way. But there was a direction and a purpose that you end up getting out of it that you learn later on how to deal with strife.
Yeah.
So for you, okay, so for me, whenever I started playing, my parents had no clue what was going on. And to this day, they still are like, what do you do with this rugby thing in the sports? And obviously, what did we do with schooling that we made this even worth it? For you, whenever you started playing, especially because you did it in high school, I was at least out of college when I started. So, I mean, it didn't really actually help anything. But, with your parents, with your parents or with your mom specifically, like what was her reaction to all this?
So the first time I played, I think I got a concussion. I don't think I was concussed. It was cold outside and I couldn't get up because my hands were numb. But my coach still had a concussion. I'm shivering. I'm cold. So my coach had to drive me home and tell my mom you son had a concussion. And my mom and my aunt's there too. Like my mom, I'm like, he's not pinning again. Not my son. No, not my only my first son. So I couldn't play for like a week and a half. Like I started. This would sneak out and keep playing.
Of course.
Make sure I did not get concussed. And all of a sudden, like I remember I got my mail to become a high school American, and I had to travel to Vegas. So I just showed my mom at the time, like, hey mom, here's this. I'm going to Vegas, but the flight's free. Like, right. You're still playing? You're still playing? Like, yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah. And then so she had to come to one of my games. She watched one and never came ever again because she just saw me getting hit. And she just like I cannot watch my son get hit. What type of mother am I watching you get hit? Huh? You can play, but I'm not going to be there. Like, all right, cool. So my mom only been to one of my brothers. Like both my little brothers play football as well.
Right.
She went to one of the games from the school they would go to, and then she's like, "Just stop because you can't go with it." She said, "I'll support the first game, but I ain't supporting anything else. So I can't want you get tackled or tackle people." So yeah, it was wild. I mean, luckily, thank God, I haven't been like seriously concussed like that or seriously concussed. I only got like one back concussion afterwards. And that was like after I already out the house. So
right.
That was like,
Dude, I mean, look, it's one of those situations where at least she came to a game. That I give all the credit. That was the happiest day of my life.
That was the happiest day of my life, bro. I was like, I played hard. I played hard too. We won that game like fire, bro. We won that game.
You were good to know there was a purpose to it. I mean, business with this mom. Oh. Man, but was she even the same? Well, you said for your brothers, was she the same with you whenever you were doing it with football as well? Like one game, be done?
She like, so my dad was with us at the time. He didn't want us to play football. So I would just sneak in to play. So she never knew I was playing football.
Yo, the sneaking.
The one time.
That's a Maryland kid, man.
Yeah, so my dad was like against it at the time. So like one time I had to bring my pads home.
Yeah.
So I had my pads and my dad saw like, what are these? Like, oh, my friend left them over here. So I'm watching for him because he has to go somewhere. And like he followed me to school because I had to go to practice in the morning.
Yo.
And he's like watching me. He's like, all right, man, you're done. And then luckily he left because like we all got to play football after that. But like, if he would just stay with the family, like none of my brothers went to college for free. So that would be bad. Yeah.
Man, what did they say? With every dark cloud is a silver lining.
Yeah, man. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at him. I understand he just want to get hurt. Football is a very dangerous kind of sport. He wanted to play soccer. I hated soccer. Right. And also, you're not going to college for soccer unless you play for a club that pays money. And my dad wasn't going to do that or understood that at all. And it is what it is. Things worked out well. And that's all that matters. So I thank God for that.
True story. So, okay. So you were able to get into the All-Star high school All-American. So I always wondered, whenever you were starting out playing rugby, how much did you travel beforehand? Because once you started playing with touring squads, you start going all over the place, going over the states. But prior to that, for you, were you traveling a lot? You know, what was the situation like?
So in high school, most we play other counties. So like we're just going across the county in Maryland. Like the most, excuse me, the longest drive we'd ever have that was in state was about 3-4 hours.
Right.
Then it become like after states like regionals. That ride was like 8-hour ride.
Right.
To play like a Pennsylvania team. I think
and I know that's like a long trip for you guys over in the Northeast. Like anything over 4 hours seems like it's like a day and a half. Like and we're down here. We're just like 8 hours. Like that's normal.
Bro, now I'm letting you know right now. A 4 hour drive, breeze, bro.
Right.
That's a 4 hour drive. That's not far. I tell you, it's not far. Yeah, it's not far. Like that's great. 8 hour drive now. Like the first time I drove from DC to Boston, it was like 9 hours. That felt so long. Now because I live in Boston, go to New York. And going to DC like 8 hours. All right, I'm just gonna lay down here, read a book, wake up. Oh, we here? Sweet.
Dude, that's what look. My biggest thing is whenever it comes to any travel like that, if I'm not driving, let me just go to sleep. I time travel. Let me just go to sleep. There's no reason. I
take Benadryl. You like go pass out.
Gone. And by the time you wake up, you're just like, what has it been? Have we been going anywhere? You're almost there. We're good.
4 hour drives to me now is like cakewalk, man. I love 4 hours. Like then you just think about a lot. Like, sheesh.
Hey everybody, this is just the break train sending out a personal little video diary to all you people out there where I am going to document me riding most of the way between Singapore and Tokyo for the 2019 Rugby World Cup. Number one is because as part of my business I do Rugby Lovers Guide to Asia. Number two is I want to bring a lot of exposure to the rugby clubs and the rugby NGOs and charities. Also on a personal level I just want to break the funk I've kind of felt I've been into for the last 10 years.
So for the next 12 months I poured myself into the Singapore to Tokyo campaign, but it still wasn't enough. I needed help, and it came from Louisiana.
We in Singapore, baby!
Gift from GiftTime Rugby USA is a extroverted tour de force.
Say hi to my people out there.
Which makes up for my social shortcomings.
This place is unbelievable. No! It's not just it's like
what's he supposed to do?
Morons, a bunch of morons.
Guys, picture with me. Picture. Australian. G'day, mate. You can use my phone. But what unites us is a hunger for adventure.
Off to KL, Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah! Woo! Gift, where are we?
We're in
Mount Fuji, baby!
Our love of Asian rugby culture.
1, 2, 3, center!
Yeah!
Rugby is starting to develop here in Cambodia for women as well.
Valkyries, the mighty, mighty Valkyries!
And allows us to overcome incredible obstacles.
It's just got so thick. It's just so thick here. Now it's pouring down rain again.
But coming to this Thai-Cambodia border has renewed all the aggression.
So the whole thing's gone buggered. I got hit.
What?
I got tail-ended by a motorbike. I can just feel that knee, that ankle just going in all the wrong directions under the weight of my body. That doesn't compare to the pain of failure.
I'm dying. Oh, I'm dying.
And that's what I've been worried about this whole time. We're out here, we're running out of energy, we're running out of money, and we're feeling isolated. And yet at that critical moment, friends, family, sometimes complete strangers come on board. Before you know it, we're back in the game. Tokyo, here we come!
Making a comeback. 4 weeks, 2,300 miles, 5 countries.
After all the trials and tribulations, this ride had become deeply personal. All that mattered now was getting to that Rugby World Cup game in Tokyo.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Be easy. Go check out redearthfilms.vhx.tv to get your copy of Singapore to Tokyo any way we can. That's redearthfilms.vhx.tv.
rugbyworld.tv.
Oh, but but basically, you know, it had always been somewhat local. By the way, just quick side, I didn't realize, because this goes to the closest of the Nigerian community. You know, my cousin Jojo Ukwu.
We played football together in high school, and we played rugby too. We played rugby too.
He did. I remember he did a little bit
for 1 year, bro. I was recording the football team that year. I got like, we played that. Jojo, Jojo went to he went to Towson after.
Yep.
I don't know where his little brother went.
I can't remember, and it's sad. I don't even know where my own cousins went to school. I thought it was also Towson. No, it wasn't Towson as well. But it was another.
He went to a JUCO first, and then he went to so I think he went to Towson afterwards after he transferred.
Because I could have sworn it was another black and yellow jersey that he was playing under whenever he was playing.
The black and yellow was his brother. His brother played for Duval.
Okay. That's how I was. But I remember seeing that on Facebook. I was like, "What kind of overly close society?"
I hated it because we're the same height, but he was 185 pounds in high school. I was 155. I was like, "What are you like? What is like? We're the same height. We're still the same height, and he's still probably get bigger." But I was like, if I was 185 in high school, bro, I would have been in the league.
just booking on people. Y'all Maryland people, man. This is all I got to say. But yeah, so anyways, I needed to get that out the way, because I was just like, the family connection is too real. But yeah, so you know, you have this opportunity. So now that you're able to start stepping outside that range, all right, stepping outside the county range, you're able to start going across the states. Like, what does that feel? Because for me, I remember, even though I've moved around a lot, I didn't really know the U.S. Like, there's just, if you don't have a purpose to go to places, you don't go, right? But once I started playing rugby, it started kind of opening it up a little bit. And I think it's just started this ripple effect of me wanting to be able to travel more and more and more.
Exactly. No, facts for sure. Because like before football, like I didn't really go outside the state of Maryland, except for to Richmond, Virginia,
right,
to see family or stuff like that, or sometimes in New York, or flying back to Nigeria.
Right.
But after rugby, bro, I was like going to different states that I would never think. Like I went to San Francisco, Vegas.
Right.
And I never I thought those Vegas when I'm an adult. I was like 17 going to Vegas. Like I'm in Vegas, and then the next year I'm in San Francisco. Then the next year I'm in a place in Texas, Florida, Miami, all these places like for rugby purposes. Like most of them were paid for. Then all of a sudden it started becoming overseas stuff. Then it's like Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Bermuda. Almost went to Cuba, but I couldn't afford the trip at the time. It was $1,600 because you have to go to Venezuela. Then you have to take a boat because you can't fly there directly because of course,
because the U.S. citizen stuff. But,
yeah, so I missed that. I would love to go to Cuba. I think I was 18 years old when we went to Cuba, but it would have been great. Then going to farther countries like Dubai or what's the one?
What was Dubai like?
It's just hot. I mean, it's not. You see nice cars, nice people. Like
right.
I don't personally get it because I like to drink in public. You know what I mean? I like to get after it.
You a Southern boy. You a Southern boy up in Maryland. That's right.
I love to get after it. So day drinking, I love day drinking. Like
right.
Pastime sport.
I mean, the hat tells us a lot of stories right now.
Yeah. It's fun, but I think it's overhyped.
And see, this was the other part that actually came out from that, was whenever you started being able to see the truth behind the stories. Because every time you talk about it, whether it's, especially when it's overseas, foreign countries, like you'll see something like Dubai and people are like, yo, you must be like balling out there. Yo, everybody's just flashing. Like it must be the most wild parties ever, just because, that's what they give you on TV. Or like even when I came down to, actually even better, and I always tell this story, like when I went to Vietnam, I literally thought Vietnam was a war-torn ass country. I didn't think it was I thought it was still feeling the repercussions. And if I hadn't gone to, what is it called? Siam Tents? No, it's Saigon Tents. If I hadn't gone to Saigon Tents, I never would have realized Vietnam is really dope. It's in place. It doesn't feel, you wouldn't even know that had been a war there at any point in time. But
yeah, to me, that's the thing with a lot of countries. We just don't know because we live in America. Then you get to wow, this is a very nice place. I did not expect it to look like this.
Exactly.
I think the misconception we have because of movies, a lot of these places look dirty because when they make movies about places like Mexico, India, or southern country, they put instead of the sky being blue, they make it like a little yellow.
Right. Change it up.
Makes
mental.
So then when you get to like, I expect like, so I had a friend from Iran once.
Right.
And I thought Iran was like a war-torn country. Show me pictures of Iran. Like,
it's the Middle East, man. It must be bad.
You guys have grass and with flowers. The sun looks great. You have an ocean. Like I was like, oh, I just thought it was like sand and desert, but no.
Right.
Like, it's because like that's the conception we have. So like to get to explore these places and go to these places, like I just changed my view on everything. Like gave me a different experience, and like I can like see that in the stuff I do now. So it's pretty cool. I think a lot of people should travel if they have the chance.
Yeah, man, and I think it even to some extent it kind of put a little bit of a kind of like a governor on a lot of the personal worries, because like once you start to see the expansion, not because everywhere else is poor, not that, but it's just like you start to see how similar everything is to each other in terms of like people, and then you start to realize. For me, it was kind of just like I would not feel my own issues. Like if I'm overseas, I don't feel the issues of the state as heavy. And so everything becomes like, all right, I have to look at this a little bit. I can be objective here because I'm not going to be feeling it from my feelings on all things. But now it's like, I can just say it straight up, but you're not going to get under my skin.
That's what you just said right there. Not feeling the pressure of America when you overseas is like a real thing. You go overseas, like all the worries are gone. You're like, this is how you live. Like this is just a simpler, easier.
Right.
I love it. Like this other thing, I don't know why I was so stressed out. You come back like, God, yeah, I gotta do this again.
I'm feeling this again.
Oh shit, here we go again.
No, it's facts though. It's absolute facts, and it's kind of weird in the sense of how it goes into the personal development from there. Just. I don't know. It's one of those things. I always get interested whenever I talk to people who have been able to have that opportunity to travel, and especially because of doing it with rugby, you're kind of doing it within this framework that
friends, like you should
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
My thing, I would personally for me, I would never want to travel to a country by myself.
Yeah,
or the one single person, is because like the world is a very dark and evil place. And we just like people continue to forget, but like I don't want to take a chance to just get lost or something bad happens. So I like the fact to get to be in a group of my friends. I like be a group of people that I know, and then also have fun and enjoy it with them and live in the experience with them as well. So it's been a blessing to play rugby. Like, yeah,
man, dude, I love it. I won't lie though. I the only reason why I have no problem with going to the country by myself, but at least having a purpose as to why I need to go there, right? And this is going to sound wrong, but it is one of the few times in life where I'm like, oh, this is what privilege feels like. Because that American passport privilege be nice. Yeah, and I'm like, look, I understand. It comes with a lot. It comes with a lot of red behind it. There's a lot of blood to have that privilege. It's not come. But that being said, man, as a brother, it's just sometimes I'm just like, look.
Oh, when they hear you're American, you're American?
You're American, right.
People think you're African. Oh, you're African. No, I'm from America.
Oh, yeah.
African, though. Oh, no, I'm from America. So I'm from America. You know, Simon. I sound American. I'm from New York. I mean,
look, I'm going to go hard.
New York. Oh, my God. I used to say I'm from Boston. Where's Boston? Like, no, it's right under New York. Oh, okay.
You know where New York is? Yeah. Like I've always trying to. Thank God New Orleans has Mardi Gras, because it's the only way I can ever get anybody to know what Louisiana is. Yeah. Outside of that, if I lived in literally anywhere else in the U.S., in like Alabama or something, like that, nobody would know. They'd be like, Alabama? What's an Alabama? I
know it's an Alabama. Stop.
You got some history with Alabama.
I don't think I can ever go to that state.
Well, look, you know what? I want to tap into this as well too, because I think it's really you've done something that I particularly had always wanted rugby people to do, because one of my biggest beliefs and one of the reasons why I got into rugby media was because rugby people suck at marketing. Like it's not even like a US thing. It is genuinely a worldwide phenomenon on how bad rugby is at marketing and utilizing the sources. So whenever you started doing, like really started to drop your personality onto social media, because I don't want to just say you started doing social media, you started dropping your personality in there, and it started setting the balls for it. I was like, man, this man is setting a blueprint for what needs to be done. And I've actually started to see a lot of rugby people because of you.
The women's sevens team, I think Ilana and Harley, they have hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok now.
Yeah.
Especially Ilana, like the women's sevens team, like she just posts herself with the girls in the sevens team doing some wild stuff. It's like people want to see that. It's entertainment. They want to be entertained. Like they're doing the dances. I saw that, like, yes, this is what every team needs to do. Like this is what Rudy needs to do. Show the boys having fun as well as participating in the challenges. Like seeing it is like it's wild. I'm happy for a lot of these people.
Man. So and it has been one. I look at like Nia Tapper. She started picking it up. Charity Williams started picking it up. And even few of the men's Ben Sema's done it as well too, hasn't he?
Yeah. He cut his hair off for the gram.
Bruh, see, and that's so it sets this precedent. So, but for you, obviously, you always know about social media, but for you, what made you decide to go ahead and start like showing yourself off like that?
I don't know what happened. What happened? I don't know. I just didn't want to live a regular 9-to-5 life. I couldn't be bothered with that. So I was like, okay, what can I do? I'm a little funny. I can write. Let me try to use Instagram thing, and it was working out. Like slowly, it was building up. I had this one video that had like 1 million views, and like, oh crap, this is wild. And then all of a sudden, found out about TikTok, and he's been posting stuff there. My humor and comedy's been changing, evolving. Like I have different styles. I just don't know what to pick. At this point, I just don't know what to pick. At this point, that I should stick with. I've just been like testing everything out instead of like sticking with one like natural thing. But yeah, I just wanted to do it and see how far I can go with it. And I set a goal up for myself one time to get 1 million followers on TikTok, and I did it. And I never set a goal past that, so it's been stagnant. So now I got to go back to drawing board and figure some things out. But I know the next thing for me is like starting my own podcast, like talking about New York humor and stuff like that. I've been trying to stay away from like rugby stuff, just because like
I noticed that.
It's a small. To me, it's a niche thing. Like I don't want a small niche. I want everybody. I don't want just the rugby people. And there's people who are just doing rugby people and doing well for them. But I want it all. I want everybody. Like for the goals I have for myself in the future, I need more influence over people to help me do the things I need to do and my other goals. So I need that. And moving to New York was a big reason I moved to New York as well for that, for my social media stuff, just because there's more creators here that I can meet and bump into. Didn't want to go to LA, even though I love the sun, but LA would have been a toxic vibe. Yeah, there's no toxic vibe. People are fake. People are all about like, what can you do for me? Like, who are you? Like, how many followers you have? Is New York is like, you literally will bump shoulders with like 1 million by accident. Like, oh, what's up? What's up, man? Sorry. Oh, you want to drink? Want to talk? And all of a sudden you find out he's like a loaded. Like, oh, like I met a lot of wealthy people in New York that I did not expect to meet, and talking to them has made my mind expand more about what I want in the future and how I can get to these things I need.
Yeah, no. I whenever you speak on that, like that my brother tells me the exact same thing. So he's in Newark, in New Jersey, and one of the things that he at least always said was how the mentality of that area, that Newark area,
hustle.
It is. It's hustle, and it's unlike what would be, I think, what we have here in the South, and as my brother would say, the concept would be if you have an idea, people need you to prove it here. Whereas in Newark area, that spot, if you have an idea, people want to jump on it. Like be able to say, hey, what can I do to help you rise through this moment? So I can, even if it's a little bit to jump on the clout, but it's like, yo, I want to be able to help. What do I need? What can I do to help you? Because helping you will help me kind of situation. Is
the thing that's what it is now. Like I've been watching this other thing with like, I think I Am an Athlete with like, Ocho Cinco, and I think they had Andre Johnson talking about like he had his friend having a business in Atlanta, and he's like, oh, how can I get in on this? Like, and they're going in together 50-50. Like you have to find a group that wants to do with you, and the mindset, you have to find the friend group that has the mindset you have as well. In Boston, for me, there wasn't that much creators in Boston, so like I was just stuck like by myself or trying to get people to come in. And now in New York is like, there's a lot of people want to do stuff like this, and a lot of people want to learn. So I'm not actually trying to make a team now And I was doing everything by myself. I realized you need all the successful people on the YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all have a team. They have a guy who writes for them. They have a guy who does his business. They have a guy who sets a schedule. They have a guy who edits. I've been doing all that by myself, and I felt burnt out. Now I'm like, okay, I will teach you how to do this. Help me do this. And I've been doing that slowly now. I haven't been posting as much as I used to, because I can focus on my podcast, focus on building the team, trying to restart and do it the right way. And other opportunities have been coming to me as I've been taking my time. And I'm just excited to see what happens. If I just do it the right way, like, I'll be very happy.
No, and I can feel that. Like, I can say for sure, like, even in doing this stuff, it completely changed the perception of how I looked at media in general. Because I know, and it especially whenever you talk to people who don't do anything in media, everything is very, for lack of a better word, very conspiratorial, right? So everything is just like, yo, this is a malicious intent. This is decision just by a greater unit, and this is how it's brought down. As somebody who did it themselves, what has been the perception that you have taken as you've developed more and more notoriety within in this media field?
I'll say in the beginning, a lot of people had doubts about it. There was only a few amount of people who like believed in me, like my roommates, like Christopher Frazier, Diego, Ian Luciano. They were they believed me, but they made sure I was doing my shit. They're like, hey, you're gonna do this, like, don't half-ass it, because I would do something just like give up on it the next day. Like, they made sure I was on it.
Nice.
And there was times where I just wanted to prove it to them. So like having them like push me and say, I know you can do it, meant a lot. And it showed. The haters, like, have the random people who are just like DM me like, this is trash, this is dumb. Right. And I just take this as like, they're just, when I see people taking the time to hate on a comment, I think, how sad must you be to say, I'm not doing well, and you're not doing anything about your situation to change yourself, and you just live in the same place. At least I'm trying to do something. But also thank you, because that right there is what pushes me to work harder and make you feel stupid. So is that, like, it's been changing. Like, my friend group has been pretty much the same. I'm glad, like, I haven't met any fake people yet, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, you not only being able to see it rise, but now the act and being able to have your people, which you kind of, I guess it goes back to like how people look at a celebrity when they're talking about like those day ones.
Yeah, nobody treats me different. Like the people in the rugby community don't treat me different, and I'm so happy and blessed about that, because I don't know how I would. Because like I have a friend who like say, this, I can look at this TikTok. Like, if I'm meeting you people, look at this TikTok. Like, yo, don't use me exactly, bro. Yeah, I don't want, but like, especially like we're talking to girls, I don't want girls knowing I have TikTok.
Right.
Like, that's period. I'd rather just know that I'm a regular person, see how things goes. Right. And then say, oh, here's a TikTok, that's just changed their perception of me. And like, I don't know what's real and what's not. So like, that's what I don't like. And also like, there's a few times I met like random people in the street, like, oh man, I watched this, like, oh shit. Thank you, bro.
Yo, it's
like,
weird, right?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I was going through my friend's place in a high-rise like building, and one of the security guards like I thought I was getting in trouble because I just walked past, like, yo, wait, come back here. Like, damn, gotta sign in. I watch your TikToks, my guy. Like, I love that anime shit. It's a big dude. Just like, oh man, thank you, bro. I added it. Like, we still, like, when I go there, we still like talk and stuff. Like, it's disrespectful, so it's pretty cool.
And I think that's one thing that I think has always been really funny is whenever you start to see the humanity of the personality. Because I think even in this, so I always say this. I remember whenever I got a chance to meet Brian Habana in the elevator at the Rugby World Cup, right? I remember looking at it, and into my mind, if you had told me 10 years ago, whenever I first started playing, all right, Brian Habana, you see this guy play, it's like, yo, you on TV, you doing your thing, and you'd be like, yo, man, this is in awe. Like, yo, I can feel the energy. I met him in the elevator. I'm just like, oh, he's a nice guy, like smaller than I thought he was. But it's like, you're just a guy. But it made it feel good. Like it feels good because it lets it be human. It's like, yo, what's up, man? You my guy. What's good with you? You good? You good? Hey, let's go.
I had a similar moment like that. So when I was a high school American, went to Vegas. So that was during like the leg of the HSBC. I saw Central Africa, Collins and Jira when I was 17 years old. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you guys are amazing. Sign my cleats. Boom, boom, boom. Bermuda Sevens comes around. calls a Jira and stuff after the same team. Like, damn, niggas, like y'all niggas old. I'm about to tackle you. And like I told Cecil and Colin, like, hey, I watch you guys sign my piece. Like, damn, now you make me feel old. Like they told me that. Like, and so like the first time I met them, I was like in awe. The same time I was like, I'm still in awe, but the same time I'm like, oh, we're on the even level.
Even played, right?
Field. Yeah, I know you're a legend. I'm gonna make sure I do my best to not be embarrassed by you, and I'm gonna do my best to embarrass you. But at the same time, like I still respect it. It's like for me, like it was the best. Like I would never have thought I would make it to that level to play against the two people I watched when I was a kid.
Nice.
Now I'm a 27-year-old man. I was 26 at the time. 26. I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually playing against South Africa. Dan Norton, Tom. I'm playing. Like, what?
It's like, have I done this?
And I'm not getting embarrassed. I'm tackling them. I'm trying to flip them off. I'm like, even like, wow, like they show like it made me feel better as an athlete. At the same time, like, how much have I grown to be here to think that there's no way to be like, damn, there's a way. You know what I mean? Like it was, talk about humbling experience. Like, wild,
right? Dude, and it's that feeling there where it's just like, that's why I talked about at the beginning where I was like, it's been so interesting to watch the growth because of the fact that you start to, it starts to make sense in equitable ways. Does that make sense? Like it starts to become part of you're part of that rotation as opposed to you're watching the rotation.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, there's times where you have to be humble. Like, you have to get better. Like the skills I still have to work on. That I've been working on. Like the thing when I moved to New York, I've been working a lot on my holding ball in two hands and catch, pass, and offloading. That's why I want to change my game to. Like I'm going to go between the hold and offload the ball, and still have the two hands on the ball. Like I've been focusing on that. As why did I do that a couple of years ago? I talked to the old blue coach. He says if I want to play 13, this is what he needs from me. And I've been doing that the whole time. Like I would go to play touch, trying to do that the whole time. And like that's just a coach telling me what he wants for me to be in this position. And the whole year I tried it and I did it. Did a little bit of that in Bermuda defensively. I was still stout defensively in Bermuda. I didn't really miss the tackles. I showed I could play defense, hit the big boys, and like they saw that. And luckily the Rooney coaches, saw that too, and it helps me out a lot. So. Man. And it helps to know some of the coaches, like they see me play in these situations, all-star situations, like, all right, I know he can play. I've seen him play here. Like, you know what? It's about your time. And I wasn't going to play. I wasn't going to play this season. I was like planning on retire until I saw, not retire, but not playing until I saw, no offense to the wingers who are playing MLR. I saw something like that. Like, I'm like, no, they're good. No, I'm saying they're good. I was like, damn, I know that I'm of the level to play.
That's it, exactly.
These are my boys I play against. So we break bread together. So like, I was like, hey, Steve, man, all right, I'm gonna do it. Because I told Greg, I messaged Greg, I wasn't gonna play. Like, I'm not gonna try to play. And all of a sudden, like, MLR's coming. I'm like, okay, well, I'm still fit. I've been working out. All right, I can. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. And luckily, like he had some space.
No, and that's. Again, it goes back to having that team around you, having your friends around you, being able to know that you have that connection. And if you hadn't played with those guys before, you're not going to have that same motivation to do it now. And that just changes up the trajectory. So like, I do need to ask because, I wonder how much did the impact even of this last summer impact the way that your thought process was on moving forward with your rugby career and with everything else? Because look, you came hard especially after George Floyd's situation, and some stuff I was like, don't give this man this much attention. Yeah, we know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
But in all that situation that we had over this pandemic, all right, how much did it impact the way that you started thinking as it went down the line to you coming back in or even just the way that you were looking at life at that point? Because that's still that same time you came out Austin to New York and all that.
Yeah. So at the time, my goal when I came to New York was to play for New York 15s, destroy Mystic River. No offense to them. It's one of the I just had a lot of rage. I had to get out to that team, not to the team, just like the guy with the coach. Just like to say,
right. All the laughing in the face. It's the laughing in the face. You got to disrespect. You got to,
And then sevens, national championship sevens. Like we're winning everything, bro. Like We have
Right.
the team here. Like we're getting that ring. I'm getting that medal, first place medal. And I'm holding it, and that's it. Like we're winning it. That was our mindset. All of a sudden, canceled 15 seasons, canceled 7 seasons. This dude comes out say some random BS. Like, nah, bro. I had some extra rage, and all of a sudden, like all this stuff is coming out. I had time that day. You know what? Like, you know what? Let me just. People don't give attention. No, it needs to be attention so people know who this man is,
dude is,
what he represents, and then he's in the rugby culture right now. He hates the LGBTQ people in the rugby community, the black people. He doesn't respect us. He's just using us to promote himself. That doesn't make sense. It's not fair to us that a man who doesn't respect us in the eyes of the law
is trying to be able to
or in the eyes of God.
He's
trying to build on us. Like, no, that's not going to happen. And I'm going to talk about the whole time. And to everybody, the people were defending him at first until they saw the real man he is, and nobody would have saw that unless I was like going at him the way I went at him.
Right. Well, or you just looked at his TikTok or on his Facebook, which was
but there was a thing like I don't know if you know this, but like Gavin, like all like the big black players in the rugby community. Conwell Sims, Gavin, Derek Lipscomb, Corey Jones. He called them all and asked, say, what can I do to change and do better, blah, blah, blah. And they all told him. And all of a sudden, we find out he was on a pro-white rugby group saying, oh, I knew they were going to come to attack me. You guys were right. I'm like, this apology was for BS. You knew we were going to do this. Like, you knew what you were going to get into. So from then on, I knew like what type of man he is. Like, he's not about it. And then to see people believe in his message, like,
that was weird. It was a little bit weird because I know, and I shouldn't be. I don't have to say anything. It doesn't matter. This is my own goddamn podcast, so I can do whatever I want. But I remember even with that, because even for me, I had a lot of. It was conflicting because I'd seen, like, I didn't see. In fact, I knew exactly the month that it started because it was April. It was literally April 15th. I actually know it specifically because it was so bizarre. Because before then, I didn't have any. I had no. I would not have been expecting it to get to where it got to, right? Because generally, it seemed like generally nice, a little weird, a little off. But I was like, okay, like that's people. You're not any harm. But then whatever happened on that April prior to April 15th, and then it just became this whiplash of just wild messaging, and then it just kept escalating, and it was just like, I don't get why you're escalating, and then it just kept going. It was like, okay, maybe I just need to let me just laugh at this, but then it always, I don't know, it got weird for a little bit there.
It did. It was I was getting petty at times for sure. But no, it worked out for the best. Like it. Yeah. But the hashtag God's plan, by the way.
Oh, so okay, but outside of that, but how did that end up still impacting the rest of that worldview? Because now there was a much greater focus on black and brown people in rugby, and I think that adjusted things in some ways, or at least brought a spotlight. I don't know if maybe it's an adjustment, but it brought a different spotlight into the rugby community that I, again, didn't expect to see happening. And I'm still always a little bit iffy on how substantial it is, but it seems to have made an affect in terms of creating a community in that. So for you, I'm sorry. So
so the whole BLM movement, and being and then COVID was a double-edged sword. It was a necessary evil for us to be at home and research everything. So a lot of like people of color got the time to express themselves, and a lot of like white people and allies got the time to just sit back and listen because they had time. They had time to go to, because they couldn't go out to work. They were able to go out to march on the street and protest. And so really because of COVID, that's COVID, and that's like BLM, that's George Floyd. So a lot of our voices were being heard this time with more of a magnitude. And we felt more entitled to say our truth and express ourselves, express what we're feeling, and try to change things. I know, like Biopic Rugby, the People of Color Rugby page was derived from Chucker's group, because the Chucker group kept deleting our posts about stuff. So you know what? We're out. We want to talk about our stuff here, and then we'll bring it out to the general. Then USA Rugby made a diversity committee.
Yep.
That was not really diverse at all. You know what I mean? I saw like two women, like a lot of white people. Like it's very diverse. We had a field day with that, and there were some changes. You added some people in the places of power that could help. And USA Rugby seems to have been listening to us as the player group because we're there to play. I have no ill will towards the sevens players who didn't say anything at the time because they have a job to do.
Right.
And I checked, and their focus is on this. They're playing for the country. Like I understand the situation. Like it's hard. Like even like for enough like to get money from USA. Like we will fight this battle. You guys come in a little bit later.
Come back later. You're right.
Yeah, it worked out well. Like the USA Rugby is in a better landscape, diverse wise as it is. Like MLR is helping also showcase players in different positions. I just believe in USA Rugby has been getting better and better in the last couple of years that I've been playing. So I was like, since I've been playing men's from like 17 to 27, those 10 years, like it came a long way. Like from one black person to like multiple black people also playing skilled positions. I just hope there's a time where like they stop pushing some black people to the wing. Like that's all. Like that's the last thing. Like if you want to practice 10, let's practice 10. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, it's getting better. And I believe the Black Lives Matter movement, the COVID all helped it become better for us. And I'm excited to see where things go when everything's all over.
Yeah, and I love it. Kind of winding down now. Obviously you got big things going on. You just got added on to Rooney, MLR. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big proud. You and the other guys that got in. I don't remember all the names, but I know I've been seeing a lot of them over the last year, particularly. So, that's a big, huge move. Big ups to Steve Lewis for adding you guys in and everybody. Now that you're at this point, because I know you were doing work you were with the Free Jacks or trying to work with them at one point, trying to work with Old Glory at one point, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was gonna move back home, but I just moved to New York. So I was like, damn, I can't because I know the owners and I know Toshi Palamo, the assistant coach, and Thread Palamo, like we like family. Talked about like when I went back for Thanksgiving to play touch with Toshi and Thread, was talking about possibly coming back to play, especially on the wing position. Like would have been me and DeMonte and that Susano kid. It would have worked out. Because like I still have my things to do in New York. Isn't work out that way because like I just can't move me while I'm trying to start this empire I want to start.
Right. Need stability at some point in time. Let me get my feet down.
I literally just moved from Boston. And all of a sudden, like I found out Toshi's assistant, like damn, Toshi's assistant coach. Like I might want to move, but then I tried to not play MLR. Because I was really in New York. I talked to Greg about it. Like Greg, hey, send an email, like a message, like hey, probably not gonna do it, but all of a sudden got the itch back and I have more time to play because like I practice in the morning. Like in the mornings, all I do is go to the gym, so I have time to tackle, pass, and catch. So yeah, I'm excited. Free Jacks thing. I can't even explain that. Like the Mystic coach at the time was the coach for the Free Jacks, so that's why. Yeah, so like that wasn't really going to work.
Right,
worked out well. I had an opportunity with 2017. I had an opportunity with the Utah Warriors.
Yeah,
I was going to go there, but decided to stay in Boston. But I'm here now. I'm going to make the best of my opportunity. Would love to see the pitch sooner rather than later. Game-winning tackle, poach, game-winning try, all that stuff. Everybody wants that. You just want to win. If I can make impact on winning, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna make impact on winning. Yeah.
Word, man, dude, I love it, man. I want to thank you so much. Again, doing this, being able to talk. I've been wanting to get just a one-on-one talk because we never have a chance for the. Never have the chance for. I was waiting. I was surprised that you lasted as long as you did without taking a bite. I was like, man, I was just gonna sit there and be like, yo, you're not gonna eat. You didn't let it cool off like that.
It's not that warm.
But it's I've loved always what you've been doing, and As much as it is a friend and family, dude, I'm also a fan. So it's a different feeling on Dana, but I always love it because I'm here for anybody who's creative and I just want us to be able to keep bigging upping. So big ups to that. And yo, dude, where can people? I guess before I go, where can people find you? What is something that you can? Wait, before I get to that, I was saying, what is one last parting words that you have for people in terms of not finding their dreams, but being able to set up their future?
The one thing I would say, if you're a Christian or you don't believe in God at all, the one thing I know is the universe or God does, the law of attraction, when you say it, when you speak it, it comes. You just have to work for it. So if you have a goal for yourself, put on the whiteboard, put multiple goals, meditate, dream on it, imagine yourself there. Fake it till you make it, because eventually you'll make it. Well, everything will find its way towards you. So any dream you have, just like, again, whiteboard, put your dreams there, put your goals there, and then all of a sudden your brain will try to find a way to get to that point. Nice. As long as you put in the work to get there. So any goal and dream you have, just put in the work, but also have a goal you can read and see every day. So, and you can go to sleep every day thinking, imagine yourself at that point every day. Imagine yourself past that point and like see your stuff that you got through because of that point. And once you can do that, your mind has a funny way of like always finding the right place or the right conversations, the right people to get you to that spot. So that's my biggest thing. It worked for me multiple times, and it's under nobody talks about it a lot, but it's the most important thing that you can do. Whiteboard, dream it, because when you can dream, you can achieve it.
Nice. And it's not even a cliche. It's like, yo, I really actually even see it. Like,
I told you, like I had a goals. I put a goals for 1 million followers on TikTok. I had nothing past that. I got to it. All of a sudden, I was like, dang, what am I going to do now? I have no other goals. So I had to go downstairs tonight, make more goals, obviously. But just do that, man.
Dude, I love it.
Easy.
I love it. Where can people find you at?
Instagram, TikTok at Axilla TV, Facebook, Akinola Raymond. You say, hey, my name, you'll find me. Pretty much it, yeah. Snapchat, I don't really snap, so don't go on Snapchat.
It's like, it's look, we got Instagram snaps, Instagram stories for that. Like,
yeah, yo, when Instagram stories came out, I just stopped using Snapchat.
Bro, dude, I did the same thing too. Because I was like,
these are longer, 15 seconds. Let's go.
Shoot, I just didn't want to build a new audience. I was just like, I don't feel like trying to attract people over to Snapchat. Like, if I already got built it, like, let me just use this one instead. Oh, brother, man, thank you so much, bro.
No, thank you for inviting me on. Like, I love it. Thank you.
Aki, man, thank you so much for taking the time to be on this. Really appreciated it. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys loved the conversation. Hope you guys were able to get some jewels out of it, because there were some gems that were dropped in there. And please, guys, do not hesitate to go check out some of our other episodes. We have had great guests. Last week, we had the great Kirill Guthrie, an engineer, but mostly now known for the James G. Robertson and Clive Sullivan Foundation, working to help develop HBCU rugby. You guys have seen her stuff now everywhere, probably on Facebook and whatnot. We had Marquise Goodwin, the vice president of the Southern California Referee Society. We had Erica Mori, former Italian Federation national team rugby player, as well as a board member. We had Robert Perry, head coach and director for Curacao Rugby. We had Nicolette Pantor, captain for Trinidad and Tobago Rugby. We had Jess Nielsen, head coach for York University Rugby, as well as a former Canada national team player. Keisha Ann Downs, a vice president for the Jamaica Rugby Union. We've had some great, amazing people. Sarah Alice Saul, Ryan Ginty of Next Level Rugby. We've had Tozan Tutsitanwe. We got Warren Mullis and Preston Thompson of Red, White, and Black All Over. We got Tiffany Faye, Tiara Mack, Anna Wooseri, Koma Gandhi Fishbin of the board, USA Rugby Board. Georgie Coda of Drop Kickers, or previously of Rugby and Beauty. Matt Upton of Jesuit Dallas Rugby. Freddie Henry Ajuda of Nigeria Rugby and Life University. I mean, we getting through it. Derek Lipskin, Pat Evans, Kelly Smith, some great interviews, Nia Tapper, Chetta Emba, like Rashad Lipford. We going down through it, and it is just amazing people with amazing stories telling how they are able to take advantage, and you guys definitely enjoy and go back and listen to them. And if you haven't had a chance, and if you have, show it to your friends, tell them, hey, you got to hear this. You got to hear how they got this done. This is how it be sometimes. So thank you guys so much for just taking the time to listen, subscribe, pay attention. It means the absolute most, because it is a pleasure to be able to share these conversations with you and everything like that. So I hope you guys know. I hope that you guys are happy. I hope that you guys are healthy. And most importantly, and I mean that most importantly, that is the I in my VIP, importantly, I hope you know that you're highly favored. Till next time, cheers.